Hello friends, it is wonderful to have you with me today. Today we're going to be taking a look at another daily art painting. You'll remember last week, or last time I should say, we looked at The Embrace by Goodnotes. It was a very intimate painting which I found very moving. I hope you gain some emotional connection, either good or bad, from this painting. So today we're moving on to this, which is called Repose by John White Alexander. Now you may have seen this picture painting many times in your life. It's quite a famous picture. Kind of reminds me of myself lounging around at the weekend. So as always, we're going to take a screen grab, go to our Goodnotes app and import it as a new image. So before we get started, let's take a look at what this portrait makes us feel. What can we see? What can we deduce? So we see a woman who appears to be fairly young. As you can see, her face looks fairly youthful, in my opinion anyway. And she appears to be casually lounging on big, puffy cushions. This area at the back kind of looks like a really huge, like chaiselong or something like that. She wears what looks to me like a medieval kind of long gown in white with streaks of black going through it. She looks kind of like she's been woken up from a nap. Her eyes are sort of closed, but like looking off to the side here. She looks very relaxed, very comfortable where she is. Her body language suggests that this is a place where she goes a lot, or is quite well known there, or feels comfortable there. And overall, this painting kind of depicts comfort and laziness, but in a good way. I feel like this woman here, isn't being caught out napping or anything. To me, it suggests that she's very high-born. She has time to kind of lounge around in this way. I quite like the details here on this, like what it appears to me like a chair. You see these like little wavy embellishments here which swirl around like this. Okay. Quite like that. Predominant colours are yellow, black, white, orange, and I'd say like what can we deduce from this painting? So, Repose by the artist John White Alexander in 1895. So let's read and see what we can find out. So John White Alexander, who was born in 1856 and died in 1915, was an American painter of portraiture known for his paintings of beautiful women in interior settings. He began his career as an illustrator in New York, but left to pursue painting full-time. He spent several years abroad studying and settled in Paris for 10 years, where he gained prominence as an exponent of the Art Nouveau trend. He was part of the aesthetic movement Art for Art's Sake, which focused more on art being beautiful than exploring deeper meaning. I feel like it's the total opposite now. Some art that I see as quite strange, and they only kind of have made it because there's a really profound meaning. In 1891, he returned to New York City, where he became a very successful and sought-after painter of portraits. So, Repose, which was painted in 1895, shows a woman wearing a loosely flowing white silk gown as she lounges languorously across a piece of furniture in an interior setting. Some Art Nouveau influence can be seen in his use of smooth, sinuous curves depicted in the painting. Just there, I imagine. His fluid brushwork and dimly lit background create an evocative, dreamy mood, as if the woman was just awakened from a nap. That's what we said, didn't we? The soft edges and subtly rich colours add to the overall beauty of the painting, capturing a sense of tranquility. And Alexander's works can be found today in private collections as well as museums across the United States. So that's very interesting. I also have a comment about people who have really famous paintings in private collections. I feel that's wholly unfair because they're kind of keeping it for themselves. And the line from Indiana Jones, "It belongs in a museum," comes to mind. But there we are. If you've got enough money to flex to own an original painting by a very famous painter, then good for you. But us mere mortals will just make do with the digital rendition, right? Alright. So, John White Alexander. What colour shall we use today? I feel like we could start with a nice creamy colour, then transition into black as we go along. How does that sound? Alright, so this is called Repose. Wobbly line. Look at how that goes up. It's very difficult to write vertically. So it was painted by John White make this a bit bigger because that doesn't look so great. Makes my writing look even more terrible. Alright, so this was John. Oh, that's why. Let's start again. I was on the wrong brush thickness. Repose. Repose. By John White. In 1895. And what medium was it? I'm guessing it's going to be oil. Oil on canvas. I'll do that a little bit smaller. Oil on canvas. And actually, let's move you up here. Delete that bit and add that there. Alright, so that's repose. So it shows a woman wearing a loosely flowing white silk gown. So we can do this like this. So, a woman wearing flowing white silk gown. And we remember she's just woken up. We all know that feeling, right? This is literally just me on a daily basis. So he mostly painted in the interior settings. So we can put this over here on his little trivia bit. So let's get the smaller one. He mostly painted interior spelling. He mostly painted interior settings. And he began his career as an illustrator in New York, but left to pursue full-time painting. So he left his job as an illustrator in New York to pursue his full-time painting. Okay. Then he settled in Paris for 10 years, where he gained prominence as an exponent of the Art Nouveau trend. So he settled in Paris for 10 years. Exponent art. How do you spell nouveau? Art nouveau. Art nouveau. I don't know why it does this. Okay. He was part of the aesthetic movement. He was a part. Go to black now. for art's sake, focused on beauty rather than meaning. Okay. So in 1891, he returned to New York City, where he became a very successful and sought-after painter of portraits. So, 1891, returned to New York and became a very famous painter of portraits. Okay. So back to the lady. So we can see smooth, sinuous curves, which I would say are here. Smooth. Oops. I'm sorry if you hear the keys. Sinuous. Smooth, sinuous curves. Fluid brushwork, dimly lit background create an evocative, dreamy mood, as if the woman was awakened from a nap. Fluid brushwork, dimly lit. So let's do fluid brush. Let's do fluid brushwork, dimly lit. Say it creates a dreamy atmosphere. Soft edges and subtly rich colours add to the overall beauty of the painting, capturing a sense of tranquility. Soft edges, rich colours, beauty and tranquility. So, soft edges, rich colours, plus beauty and tranquility. And I think that's about all. So let's go back and recap. So to recap, this is a painting called Repose by John White Alexander, and it was painted in 1895, oil on canvas. Now, what can we understand about and learn about the painter himself? So he painted mostly in interior settings, and he started out life as an illustrator in New York, but he left that job to pursue his full-time painting career. He settled in Paris for 10 years, and he was an exponent for Art Nouveau. He was also part of the aesthetic movement, which was pretty much just art for art's sake, focusing on beauty rather than deeper meanings. And in 1891, he returned to New York and became a very famous and very sought-after painter. This work here, Repose, shows a woman wearing a white flowing silk gown. She's kind of just woken up. And the whole painting creates a dreamy atmosphere, focusing on beauty and tranquility. And this is aided by smooth, sinuous curves that run all the way over the painting here. Soft edges emphasize this, as does the fluid brushwork, the rich colours, and the dimly lit environment just brings this all together in a lovely, dreamy, relaxed kind of feeling and environment. So that is Repose by John White Alexander, and I really like this painting. I kind of connect with this lady here. There's so many times where I've just woken up from a nap or from waking up in the morning and you've got that kind of bleary-eyed look, but you hope you don't look quite frightening to anybody who's looking. And I mean, I don't think many of us wake up in this perfect kind of state. I mean, this woman looks like she just woke up like this. Perfect, you know? And this sofa or whatever she's laying on looks so comfortable, and I'm kind of just feeling sleepy just looking at this. Okay, so that is Repose by John White Alexander. I really hope that you have enjoyed this art appreciation. Let me know if you know any more works that I should check out by John White Alexander, and whether or not you liked this painting. Leave me a message in the comments. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you found this relaxing as well as informative, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care and have a wonderful